The news is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Cyril B. Romney Tertola Pier Park, NV Salon, Nail Spa and Barbershop, Tisley Cross Deliciously Smooth Cider, and Digicel, simply more speed, reliability and entertainment.
Plug into Digicel Plus and get even more entertainment with Disney Plus included. The best of Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic all in one place. Whenever you want, plug into Plus to enjoy Disney Plus and much more with a home fiber bundle. Sign up today. Digicel Plus.
It's a sore issue facing the territory, proper incinerating of waste. But in the case of Pockwood Pond Incinerator, its being out of operation means a period of clean air for especially the people of Western Tortola and those on St. John, U.S. Virgin Islands.
I want to make it clear that I am a critic of the incinerator. It's in my district. I know it seems to be impacting the people of the 4th district more than it impacts the people. Well, Mr. Brown is here, so I shouldn't be saying this. But I am a critic of the incinerator. And I want to preface any statement I make about the incinerator by saying that any statement I make regarding the incinerator is in no way an indictment of the people that work at the incinerator. Those people are being placed in a situation where their hands are tied behind their backs and they're asked to execute. They have no choice but to do what they can do in the best case scenario. And I sympathize with them. I feel for them. That incinerator has been out of operation for the last several months, years, who knows. Every time you ask a question, you get a different answer regarding exactly what's going on there. And the open burning, you said that the air is best when there's no activities at the incinerator, naturally, because it's a nuisance. I said, we have people in this territory who prefer to speak about the things that are juicy and decide to leave the things that are important out. I was just coming down here to West End, and I came face to face with, I don't know, you want to call it a crater, if you can understand what that means? And I just panicked, basically panicked. What to do? I can't go left, I can't go right, I can't go down in the crater, and there are vehicles behind me. Well, I prefer for the guy to run in my back than for me to drop in the hole, because at least I could blame it on somebody. He hit me, you know? But these things are the things that needs to be spoken about day in and day out. The governments can do better. No government should be re-elected to office with a sewage treatment plant at Bird Point that has been out of commission since the hurricane. I mean, give me a break. An incinerator that's non-functional. These are the things that you should talk about. People contract all kinds of disease because of these things. Your point. Anyone who wants to seek public office should make you a promise that they're going to fix these things. And if you don't fix them, don't come back. I see no problems with that. We have a $430 million budget. $430 million budget. And I want to acknowledge the presence of Dr. the Honorable Kedrick Pickering, who just walked in. I want to acknowledge his presence. But he can tell you, when we got elected in 1999, the things that we were able to do with a $200 million budget, we can't do with a $430 million budget today. You have an issue in your district. Back then, you petition the Premier, the Minister of Finance, and he goes to his financial secretary and find the money to do what needs to be done. Today, you can't find money to do anything.
Honorable Julian Fraser RA was not addressing the people of District 3 on this occasion, but rather the people of District 1, when clarity was sought on the matter of by-elections.
As you would recall, when we were here on October 6th, there was the thought that it was the 3 sittings that constitute vacancy. And I pointed out that it wasn't. and I was correct. And that brings us to the 8th sitting, the convening of which was postponed on Tuesday due to an illness. However, if nothing changes from what is the norm, when that sitting does convene and is adjourned, you will be constitutionally without a representative. Again, this is something that was anticipated by the system, so there are built-in safeguards to ensure that after taking the logistics into account, such disenfranchisement is limited to no more than 2 months in the case of a by-election or 6 months in the case of a general election. How so, you might ask? Well, as soon as this seat becomes vacant at the adjournment of the 8th sitting in accordance with the Standing Orders 84-2, the provisions of the Elections Act Section 24A, which provides for whenever an elected member of the House of Assembly vacates his or her seat for any reason other than the dissolution of the House of Assembly, a by-election shall be held to fill the vacancy on such date as the governor shall appoint by proclamation published in the Gazette within 2 months, but not less than 21 days of the occurrence of the vacancy, unless the House of Assembly is sooner dissolved or will be under Section 84 of the Virgin Islands Constitution Order 2007 within 4 months of the occurrence of the vacancy. For clarity and completeness, as to a dissolution of the House of Assembly, Section 84(2) and 3 of the Virgin Islands Constitution prescribes as follows. 2. The governor acting after consultation with the Premier may at any time by proclamation published in the Gazette dissolve the House of Assembly. 3. The governor shall dissolve the House of Assembly at the expiration of 4 years from the date when the House first meet after any general election, unless it has been sooner dissolved. If the 8th sitting adjourns after November 12th, then there will be no trigger for a by-election, because constitutionally the House must be dissolved no later than March 12th, which would be within 4 months of the seat becoming vacant. Earlier I spoke about uncertainty and risk. Had the seat become vacant earlier in June, as it appeared, the by-election would have been triggered and the governor would have been bound by the Election Act Section 24A to call a by-election. But as you know, the governor's powers are wide and sweeping, even in the absence of the Order in Council. Best case scenario, without the Order in Council, he could have opted to dissolve the House and call a general election. Not good, considering the climate we're in at this time. Worst case, he could very well have used the excuse to enact the Order in Council and suspend the Constitution to put off the general elections, which are due no later than May 12th of 2023, Section 86 of the Constitution, or worse, to impose direct rule. It was a gamble, so I agree it was wise not to roll the dice. Today, based on conversations I've had, I can report that barring some dramatic turn of events, or someone is lying to me, we will be having general elections as are constitutionally due.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most. For you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Freeze. Choose your mix, choose your flavor.